Good morning, everybody. Matt Modoc here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We're talking Friday, August 22nd. Happy Friday, everybody. The Dong Report is back in your life. I'm playing today pretty heavy. I got 10 players on Dong Watch for today. Of course, if you don't want to lock in those 10, you can always play the 3 favorites, which I'll give you as well. I always recommend spreading the board. That's where I found the most success this season, but however you want to play it is entirely up to you. As far as yesterday goes, a pretty frustrating day overall. We only got one player to hit a home run. Thank you to Brenton Doyle, who at least salvaged the day a little bit, down 0.05 units yesterday. Not terrible by any means. I mean, you're basically breaking even. I say it was a frustrating day because I had 2 players that I went with on Wednesday that ended up going yard yesterday. And really the one that I'm kicking myself is Francisco Lindor. I was on him for 2 days and he didn't do much. And I even said that means he's probably going to go yesterday. And of course he did. I should have taken him. That was honestly a mistake on my end. And then Kurtz was the other one who went yesterday, who I had Wednesday. But his odds were so low that I really just couldn't stomach that. So the Kurtz one feels okay. The Lindor one really does hurt. But on the entire year, we had a really, really nice stretch heading in to yesterday. We were in the green 4 straight days heading into yesterday. So one day being down a fifth of a unit is not terrible by any means. On the year, up over 5 units is not amazing. 4% ROI just below that is not amazing either. It's been better since June 21st, up almost 12 units since then. And then lifetime profit on the Dong Report is up 85 units. So really good lifetime results on the Dong Report. This year has just been a little more hit or miss. But for today, couple juicy weather games that we're going to talk about. I have a play in most of these games in the green. There's 2 that I don't. And then I have some plays down here as well that we're going to talk about. First up, I have 2 plays in the Twins-White Sox game. And one of them is going to be my favorites, which is Byron Buxton. So I'm taking Byron Buxton as the first of the 3 favorites. And then I'm also taking Lennon Sosa as well, taking both of them to hit home runs. Buxton is best offered at plus 300 at FanDuel, and Sosa is best offered at plus 525 at Bet365. So the weather is solid in this one, not amazing, but it's solid, plus 11% combined park factors, home run, meaning stadium plus weather factors for this one. So for Buxton, there's a couple things. Number one, he's had pretty good success against Aaron Savale in his career. Now, Ballpark Pal shows you the last 3 years, which kind of makes sense to me because like some stuff that happened in 2020 isn't always relevant. But he's got a home run off of Aaron Savale, and as I've noted, I'm starting to come around on batter versus pitcher stuff, so you guys won that war. Buxton has been hitting decently well recently. 3 barrels and 7 hard hits over the last week is not amazing. It's acceptable, especially those barrels. But I'm really just looking at what he did yesterday and the day before. All 3 of those barrels in the last week came in the last 2 days. Last game, he had 3 hard hits and 2 barrels. Really, really impressive day at the plate yesterday. Did not lead to a home run, but really hit the baseball hard. And the day before that, 1 hard hit, 1 barrel. And he's going up against Aaron Savale, who I mentioned that he's had success with in the past. And Savale's been better over the last 6 weeks. I'll give him that. But you look at the entire year, home run every 26 at-bats to right-handed hitters. You look at home run every 28 at-bats or so overall. That's a little bit better than what we typically try to target, but it's still not anything to completely avoid. And Buxton, with the way he's been hitting in good weather against a matchup that he's dominated in the past, feels good to me. Sosa, on the other hand, he has also been hitting well recently. You look at him, 3 barrels, 9 hard hits over the last 7 days is pretty impressive. 3 home runs as well. I like the fact that he's both hitting fly balls and pulling it. That's a really good combination. You look at the last 2 weeks for him, 7 barrels, 20 hard hits. So maybe he was a little hotter over the second half of this 14-day stretch, but still nothing over the last 7 days to scare you off. And then you look at Zebi, kind of a hit or miss pitcher. He's got decent stuff. Like, he's not a bad strikeout pitcher. Obviously, strikeout rate of 30% is pretty good. But you look at the year, home run under every 25 at-bats. We'd like that number to be below 20, but 25 is perfectly fine. He's a little bit worse against lefties than he is righties, so I'll give him that. But you look at the last maybe 6 weeks or so, because he missed some time due to injury and being called down. Home run every 27 at-bats to righties is not terrible. Every 20 at-bats overall. So again, he is worse against lefties, but not to the point where you don't want to take a righty against him. And Sosa his last couple days maybe slowed down a little bit, but still hitting the ball hard, still doing well. And Ballpark Pal really likes it. So I do put some emphasis into that. Plus 525 on Bet365. Their true odds are plus 435. So I do put some emphasis into that. This is plays number 1 and 2, with Buxton being one of the 3 favorites. Next up, I have 2 players on the Royals. I'm taking Bobby Witt Jr. and I'm taking Salvador Perez. Of the favorites, I chose Witt as so the Witt is my second favorite, but I'm also taking Perez as well. I kind of similar logic. I really like the price on Perez at plus 575. That's an awesome price. And then Witt's actually 420 at FanDuel. I was able to get a little bit of a better price on Bobby Witt Jr. He's at plus 420. Both of these guys are hitting really well. You look at them over, not the Rockies, look at them over the last, this is the last 2 weeks, but 6 barrels each, 17 hard hits each is very good. You look at the last week, 4 barrels for Bobby Witt Jr., 12 hard hits is really good. And then Perez, 3 barrels, 9 hard hits is really good. Those of you are going to ask, how come I'm not taking Pasquatch? He's hit a home run in 4 straight games. That's not, or yeah, it's 4 straight games. He only had 1 hard hit yesterday, and I kind of get weary of players that their 1 hard hit turns into a home run, because generally you want guys to have more hard hits than that. That's why I'm not going with Pasquatch. The pitcher they're going up against is Casey Mize, who on the year has struggled more against righties than he has recently. So you look at Casey Mize over the entire year. Home run every 22 at-bats. His numbers across the board, some below average, some above average. I'm not saying he's a terrible pitcher, but he's definitely not a pitcher to avoid. It's funny, on the year, it looks like he's a better matchup for righties. Recently, it looks like he's a better matchup for lefties. And whenever that situation happens, it's kind of a wash for me. I kind of just say you can take both, doesn't matter. I also am kind of looking at what Bobby Witt Jr. did yesterday. The outfielder lost the ball in the sun, so it wasn't like he got robbed, but he had a ground rule double that was ruled a ground rule double due to fan interference. It could have been an inside the park home run. What matters is that he crushed that baseball 105 miles an hour off the bat, traveled 380 feet. And then Perez didn't have a crazy day yesterday. He had the 1 hard hit, but Perez has generally had, again, look at the 3 barrels, 9 hard hits, generally been hitting the ball pretty well. And it's $575. That's a really, really good price on Salvador Perez. Witt also has success against Casey Mize. You look at him, 11 at-bats, 2 home runs, 3 singles, so he's batting almost 500 against him. The home run came back in May, and then he hit another home run off of him last year, and those are both no-doubters. So when you look at the results, you want to see like the EV logs and stuff as well. You don't just want to look whether it was a home run or not. These were both just absolutely annihilated. This one, 112 miles an hour off the bat, traveled 442 feet, sent to the moon. And then the other one hit even to a deeper part of the moon, 111 miles an hour off the bat, 468 feet. Very, very impressive. Perez doesn't have the same level of success as Bobby Witt Jr. Also, I guess I should say not in terms of power, hitting 500, has 2 doubles against him. One of them could have been a home run. So success against him as well. I like both of those players. That is what, plays 3 and 4 with Witt as the second of my 3 favorites. Next up, Junior Caminero is the third of my 3 favorites. And then I'm taking 3 additional players in this game. I'm taking Bob Seymour, who sounds random. We'll talk about him. And then I'm taking the 2 Cardinals guys that I went with yesterday. Lars Nootbaar, who sounds like a delicious candy, and Alec Burleson. Now, this game, I will admit, burned me yesterday. It was the best weather game of the day by far yesterday. That's still the case today. One day in which that doesn't work in my favor isn't going to completely scare me off. It's 9 to 12 mile an hour winds blowing out, partly to right field, more so just to direct center. It's going to be in the mid to high 80s, and it's a fantastic stadium for home runs, especially for lefties. You look at this short right field porch. I talk about it all the time, but it's a really, really good stadium at Rays Stadium for home runs. It's receptive to wind. There's just so much to like about it that I'm not going to be completely scared off of not having success targeting this game yesterday. Now, the bats with the best matchup is the Rays against Miles Michaelis, who's an absolute home run machine. On the year, home run every 23 at-bats, every 27 to righties, every 20 to lefties. But you look at him recently, let's look at his last 6 starts. Home run every 19 at-bats, and he's been actually slightly worse against righties. His numbers across the board are terrible. The low K rate, the high barrel rate, relatively high line drive and fly ball rate. And then against lefties, the K rate's even lower. The barrel rate is still pretty bad. Some of the other numbers are better, but definitely not scared off. I will admit, I really wanted to go with Brandon Lau on the Rays as well. I just couldn't get there. He just really hasn't been hitting the ball hard or barreling the ball up. Like, he doesn't have a barrel in the last week, and he doesn't have a game with more than one hard hit over the last week either. So I just couldn't do that. Junior hasn't been doing a great job barreling the ball up, but he has been hitting the ball hard. Pull rate 47%, fly ball rate 40%. That's really good. And then Bob Seymour sounds random, but if he hits a home run, I can use the joke Seymour butts, which is always good. 7 hard hits, no barrels, but what I like is that he's putting the ball in the air. Like, the launch angle average of 25 degrees is really good. Now, we need to get that pull rate up, but this fly ball rate of 60% is fantastic. Nobody on the Rays really did anything yesterday except for him. He was one of the only batters that had 2 or more hard hits. It was him and then Tristan Gray, who I've never heard of. But 2 hard hits for Mr. Seymour Butts, and generally hit like 360 and 352 feet. Those could have been home runs if they were pulled a little bit. Now, he needs a little bit of a faster EV than 95 and 96. I'll give him that. But that's still pretty good. And then the price on these guys, which I'll get into now. Caminero, best offered, plus 290 at Bet365. Burleson, plus 475 at Bet365. Newt Bar is 460 at FanDuel. And Mr. Seymour Butts is both 600 at FanDuel and Bet365. So part of the reason for Seymour is the price. Ballpark Pal has him best offered at plus 525. 600 is what we're getting him at. They have Caminero as really likely to hit a home run. Granted, from an EV perspective, it's more neutral, slightly negative. They love Brandon Lau. I just couldn't get there. But that's the Rays, guys, is just a good matchup against Miles Michaelis, who's a dong machine. And then for the other guys, they're going up against Adrian Hauser, who's not terrible. Like, the better pitching matchup is on the other side, but the better batters and the batters that are hitting better is on the Cardinals side. So they kind of cancel each other out. But you look at Hauser, home run every 22 at-bats in his last 6 weeks. That's not terrible. It's all come off of the sinker. That's also what he throws the most, which makes sense. He's not a super high fly ball pitcher, so there is a little bit of concern there. But Newt Bar hit one 370 feet yesterday, 108 miles an hour off the bat. Just get like 3 degrees launch angle higher, and that's a home run. And then you look at Burleson, the second hardest hit of the game, 110 miles an hour. Then he had another one, 100.5. Burleson has been doing a really good job hitting the ball hard. You look at his hard hits, 14 over the last 7 days is really good. And then Newt Bar has got 10 hard hits, but he leads the team in barrels, which is also really good. So you compare those 14 hard hits league-wide, and he's one of 5 batters with 5 or more hard hits. That's really good. No home runs to show for it. Got it, but the fly ball rate is not that bad. Again, you like that pull rate to be higher, but it's acceptable. So all in all, I'm hoping we don't get burned once again by going to this game at Rays Stadium. Next up, I'm going with Ben Rice to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 350 at Bet365. For whatever reason, he is not like Bet365, or excuse me, Ballpark Pal doesn't have his odds up on their screen, but I promise you he's best offered at plus 350 at Bet365. The head-to-head matchup for him, 0 for 5 with one hit that was hit pretty hard. That ended up being a flyout, but could have been a double. Not amazing, but young batter, so that's okay for Ben Rice. What I like about Ben Rice is just honestly the way he's been hitting. You look at him, he's got 10 hard hits and 5 barrels over the last 7 days. Those barrel numbers are really impressive. Fly ball rate, 50%. Pull rate, 56%. That is really good, especially going up at Yankee Stadium, which has the same dimensions as Steinbrenner Field. Fantastic for left-handed hitters. You want the ball to be hit to this part of the park, which is what Ben Rice is doing a really good job of doing. Brian Bayo is pitching for the Red Sox, who's kind of in the category of not a horrible pitcher, but also not anybody to avoid home run. Every 22 and a half at-bats to lefties over the last 6 weeks. It's under the 25 number. Admittedly, none of these numbers are that bad. Like, it's not like we're targeting a guy like Michaelis. Had all these numbers were red. That's not the case with Bayo. So this is more so backing a hot batter in a pretty good home run situation in a home run stadium. who, like I said, has just been doing a fantastic job barreling the ball up. 5 barrels in the last 7 days is really, really impressive. And all these numbers across the board are really good. So we're kind of hoping to get a batter in the midst of a home run stretch. And then the last play that we have here is William Contreras to hit a home run. He is offered at plus 600 odds at FanDuel. Part of the reason why I like him is this price at plus 600. It's a good stadium to hit home runs at, Brewer Stadium, plus 16% home run edge, home run index. And you know who actually leads the league in hard hits over the last week? My dog loves this play, is William Contreras. He's got 17 hard hits in his last 7 days. Now, he needs to do a much better job hitting fly balls. As you can see, hitting a fly ball less than 20% of the time is really, really bad. That is not good at all. But when you're crushing the ball as much as he is, I'm willing to accept that. Like, you look at these hard hit numbers over the last 4 games, 3, 4, 3, 2. It's really, really impressive what he's doing. And the Cubs stadium was horrible. 4 home runs this entire time. The wind was blowing in at Wrigley. Now, none of his hits, I'm not going to say that they were knocked down by the wind. Maybe because of the stadium he was playing at, he was looking to get the ball down more than he was trying to put the ball in the air, because he knew it was going to get hit down. We know Contreras can go on these situations where he hits a bunch of home runs, like 1 home run and then 2 the next game, then 1 home run a couple games after that, 2 home runs against the Cubs. That was at home. So plus 600, I really like it. The matchup he's going up against is a little bit of an unknown. It's Carson Wisenhunt is the pitcher who has made not a lot of I think he's made 2 starts this year. Home run he's given up 5, so more than 2, whatever, doesn't matter. He's given up 5 home runs, which is a lot. Home run every 9 at-bats to righties. Now, maybe young pitcher going to get it together. As of right now, these numbers across the board are horrific against righties, and they're horrific in general. So pitching matchup that should be in favor of William Contreras. Ballpark Pal loves it. Plus 10, extreme advantage in favor of William Contreras. I mean, the pitches that he's going to see, the changeup and sinker that he's going to see the most, he's got an A grade against both of them. So should be a good matchup for William Contreras. I love the way he's been hitting the baseball. Just need him to get a little bit more lift, and he's going to start clearing some fences. But that's all we got. So 10 players to hit a home run. Pretty big card today. Hopefully we have a good one. I think any combination of 3 equals profit. And then if we get some juicy 2, also equals profit. But we're going with Alec Burleson, Junior Caminero, and Caminero was one of my favorites. I'll highlight him green. And then Mr. Bob Seymour Butts, William Contreras, Buxton, who's also one of my favorites that I will highlight green, Lennon Sosa, bitches love Sosa, Bobby Witt Jr., who was the 3rd of my 3 favorites, and then Salvador Perez and Ben Rice. That's all we got. Appreciate you guys for watching. Check out Ballpark Pal. Link to them in the description of the video. Check out my Tails account, which is just where I send all these plays out. So everything you see me play is given out first on Tails. Link to that as well. Thanks for watching. Bet responsibly, and have a good one.